Yo. Fresh off my final destination, avoiding the Pikachus and Pokemon trainers, not settling for nothing less than first placement. I met a knight that couldn't fight when compared to greatness. Yeah, I'm the missing link in all chains, with no sword, just a punch like Falco, all flame. They all lame, no they all game.
Welcome everybody, and this is TheWon, aka Jodecideion on YouTube, and I'm bringing you I guess you can call it a week review or a week later review. Basically, I'm going to give you my opinion on the new Nintendo 3DS. Now, after having it for a week and playing all the games I purchased for it and using most of the features on this console, I hope if you're on the fence, whether you're a new consumer or a long-time Nintendo fan, I hope I can persuade you or at least recommend you if the 3DS is worth purchasing. First, let me say, after a full week of owning the Nintendo 3DS, I am totally in love with the console. I see a lot of potential in this console for future games, and this has nothing to do with the games in general. I'm not talking about the games that are going to be built to use 3D as a part of the gameplay. I'm just talking about the presentation. You know, for those same people who love HD games because they're HD, because they look so good, I can kind of understand what they're saying, how they feel that way. Because sometimes, you know, it's like seeing a fine girl or a beautiful girl. It's just, you know, it's awestruck. It's like, damn, wow, why it looks so good? Why they're so attractive? So I can understand that and relate to them on that. And that's the feeling the 3DS gives to me. Not because the graphics on it are so mind-blowing. It's just the 3D effect that's added to the games that takes it to a whole other level. I tell you now, after owning Street Fighter 4 for my PS3 when I had one, and watching on my HD television at 1080p, visually, it could never impress me the same way that Super Street Fighter 4 3D has on the 3DS, or even any of the other 3D games I have on my console. The 3D just adds a whole other level to the game experience. When you're watching it, it just stimulates your eyes and soul in a whole other way. Instead of seeing, you know, that attractive girl with that big old ass or that beautiful face, I mean, now it's like her living in the same house with you. You know what I'm saying? You're married to that attractive girl, or you're dating that attractive girl. You feel like you can just touch her anytime you want to. You know what I'm saying? So to me, HD is like seeing something beautiful and attractive from afar, and 3D is like having that something beautiful, something that attractive right next to you. And that's what the 3DS has done to at least in my opinion, to the games I bought for it. Super Street Fighter 4, hands down, is the killer app of the launch titles. If you got a 3DS or you plan to buy one, it's the game to buy without a doubt. I'm a big fighting fan, at least what I was when I was younger. I spent $80 for Super Street Fighter 2 for my Super Nintendo back in the day, okay? I haven't had this much fun in a Street Fighter game since probably Super Street Fighter 2 or Super NES and Street Fighter Alpha for the Sega Saturn. That's the last time I sat down and actually enjoyed a home console version of the arcade game. This is the best game I've played since then. Like I said, I've owned Street Fighter on the PS3, and it just really didn't, you know, I didn't take to it. And I think the reason I love this so much is because it's made for the 3DS. The 3DS and the size, it makes it feel like you're holding a Super NES controller in your hand with a screen on top of it, like it's a modded SNES controller. It just feels like that. The buttons are all right there at your fingertips, and with the addition of this touchpad for some of the fighting moves, there's never, when you're fighting, all you gotta do is worry about fighting. There's never this sense of, man, I can't do a move, I'm gonna lose because I can't do this move out. Well, you can press that move on the touchpad if you play the light version way. Since I've had the game, I already put in 9 hours. I've already whooped 100 guys, and so I honestly believe that the 3DS can become the home to fighting games. If all the fighting games are that quality as Street Fighter, it can really become the home. A portable handheld device can be a better home for fighting games than a console can. I honestly believe that now. Ridge Racer 3D. This game I bought, and it has potential for racing games. The visuals are okay, and nothing really spectacular. The 3D on it is pretty nice. Nowhere near as extreme as the Street Fighter, which I should have went in more detail about. I had much time. It's pretty entertaining, and I really believe next year's version, or if someone else try to do another racing game and just put all the features into it, like online, it could really be something. I was really impressed with the amount of content, as in the stages. I saw a couple stages from the PS3 version on here, and they look pretty much exactly the same. You know, not really graphics wise, but still you can see there wasn't nothing missing from the overall experience. The 3D is real fast and it really stands out, and so I really see the 3DS bringing a lot of potential to games like Burnout or Need for Speed, as long as the developer really put efforts into it. But it's definitely, I was impressed with this. I just wish it had online. You know, Namco really dropped the ball on that. Now the Nintendo games. They pretty much what they are. They're basically there to show you what's possible with a 3DS. Pilot Wings, after playing it, is a fun little game. It's like the original Pilot Wings. It's not something you really take seriously. You sit down and play it when, you know, you're bored. I mean, it's one of those kind of games. It's a true portable game. And if you want to get into it, you can knock it out within a couple hours. So it's nothing that's gonna, that's gonna tax out your system and just, you know, take up all your time. The 3D on this is really impressive when it comes to the flying and the third-person views with the rocket belt. I really see potential for the 3DS for all kind of games like that. The next Star Fox should be amazing. If Factor 5 goes back and redo Rogue Squadron for the N64, and maybe even bring over the GameCube versions in a compilation, those type of games will really look spectacular in 3D. Because the flying on this, the scenery of the island is so amazing on this. So I really see those games, Afterburner, any kind of flight game, they could be awesome. At the same time, a third-person game where you're controlling the character, you're walking around amongst buildings, that could be awesome too, and that could add a whole nother effect to it. I think we'll see that in the Legend of Zelda's coming out pretty soon. Last but not least is Still Diver. Still Diver surprised me because I thought it was gonna be something else, but it turned out to be something else altogether. This game reminds me of a game that came out on the Super Nintendo, a game called UN Squadron, which is basically based off of an anime that got its own game. It reminds me of that. It's a side-scroller action shooter type game. Not big on the action, because you're not destroying multiple targets, but it has that feel to me. You're in a futuristic sub, going down, swimming through the ocean, and you're just destroying anything in your path, and you come to the end to either location or a boss fight. But it really has that feel to me, and it definitely used the control pad a lot. Something that people was worried about with the 3DS because of the screens, but it definitely make you use the control pad and the stylus. Since this game is a 2D game, putting 3D on this really makes it just stands out. I can really see any 2D game being made for the 3DS looking spectacular because the depth of field that's added to it. A game like a New Super Mario Brothers or a Kirby, anything that's 2D would definitely look cool as this game does. And also, it's the 3D area where you use the periscope and you turn around. That's really entertaining. I was really impressed with that. Overall, if you really want to trust a new IP, the new IPs that people say Nintendo doesn't make, pick it up. So those are the games I bought, and honestly, I don't feel bad for buying them. Even though they cost about $40 each, I think they're all worth it. People gotta realize, as consoles get stronger, the game prices are going to go up until the developers find ways to bring them back down. So if you're mad about paying $40 for a 3DS game, imagine the price of a PS3 quality RPG game going to be. Last but not least, it's the console itself, the 3DS. This little console right here has pretty much done everything it says it's going to do. When it comes to having 3D without glasses, it does it without a doubt. Like I said, playing that Street Fighter game, playing on the construction site level with Speylong or Rose, or anybody that has that amount of detail on them, it's a whole nother experience, man. You'll never ever see anything like that in your life. But the 3DS itself, I'm not gonna judge it harshly because all the features that it was promised with are not there. The eShop, the full online integration, internet, the connecting with your friends, they're all not there. Now, I do like the friend code area. It's real quick. That's the main thing I love. When you connect to somebody, it's instant. As long as you look at your friend code, you have them. I have over 31 friends right now. The AR games are amazing. The Face Raiders, that's something that don't get that much love, but that little game right there, that alone is impressive. And so, also, people are complaining about playing the DS games on here. People, it's been exaggerated. It's nowhere near as bad as Kotaku and others trying to make it out to be. You can play all DS games, even your import DS games. You can play on your 3DS. I played Jump Ultimate Stars the other day online, and it works, and it still looks as good as my DS versions. Okay, there is a slightly little difference if you cut the your 3D off and make sure the screen is a certain bright level. It looks just fine. So here's the question. Here's the answer. Is buying a new system for $250 worth it? When you get the potential of new content, when you're getting the raise in the bar of quality of games, when you're getting a new age of connective online structure and gameplay, new features that need to be released, and promising and superior shop experience, and full backwards compatibility, yes, I believe it's worth it. You could also say that the 3DS is the handheld version of the PS3. Basically, people are wondering, why should I pay so much money to get something that's really not that much improvement over what I had? And that'd be a true statement. The 3DS, when you have a DS with a huge library of games, it's real cheap compared to the 3DS that's more expensive and has yet to really show you its full potential. Then yes, I really understand that. At the same time, I will say this: as handhelds get more expensive, as iPads come out yearly at $500 a pop, as the MPG is going to come out and definitely be more expensive than the 3DS. For the price and what you're getting and the potential, the value is there. So if you haven't yet, or you're still on the fence, I hope I persuade you in some kind of way. The 3DS is the next in line of Nintendo handhelds. It definitely is worth it, I believe. All we gotta do now is wait on the games. And if the rumor is true about Monster Hunter 3DS coming, being announced this week in Japan, then the games are already on their way. This is TheWon. Oh, sorry, before I go, after this video, there'll be my Mii stamp for all you who want to get my Mii. I'm going to add it to this video, and I'll keep it up for like 20 seconds. So if you want my Mii, just get your 3DS, put the camera to the video, and pause it, and take a picture of that stamp, and you'll have my Mii. Alright, y'all, this is TheWon. I'll see you next time. Enjoy your 3DS. And if you don't got one, go get one. Peace.